back again. It's time for the weekly update video. Even though this will be in the past for you guys, it's the present for me. It's Monday, the 15th. No, it's not. I lied. It's Tuesday the 15th. Yesterday I was out of the shop because I was at my citizenship interview. That's right, the RCSubGuy is going to be an American citizen coming up. So that would kind of put me out for yesterday. But today, obviously, we have been busy. It's nearing the end of the day. Let me show you what we've been up to. Yes, first off, I came across a whole whack of these kits. I've got some Revell 7Cs, I've got some Gato kits, Revell Gato kits, Dumas Bluefish, and two Dumas Akula kits. Some of these are up on my website right now. Probably by the time you see this video, they will all be up on the site. So take a look for those. Have a bunch more miscellaneous stuff that we're going to be listing up here right away. Part of a big lot of stuff that we took from a guy. Programming some of the new 900 megahertz radios. We've got a Horus, and we got two tandems going out. This is turning out really good. We're really excited, obviously, you know about that. You know, I just want to talk about Oberon here. I don't know what's up with you guys. Nobody likes these O-boats for some reason, even though they work so well. This was one that I refurbished and sold to a gentleman in Australia, and he traded it back to me. And I've got it listed on my website, have for a long time, and it seems like nobody's interested. So if nobody buys it, which would make me really sad, I'm bringing it to Subfest, and we're going to be doing an ultra cool, super neat sale on it. So you can cross your fingers and hope that it'll be available then, or buy it now. Awesome boat. It just runs so well, and it's such an easy boat to drive. And it looks super unique, too. It's got a really nice silhouette on the water. And the team, what was that work? We lost Logan. He went to the bathroom. We won't pay him for bathroom breaks. What are you doing, Jason?
I am cleaning up the burrs of our control, control arms.
Control horns, yep.
For our Delphin.
Yeah, been working on the Delphin. But I want to show you this. This is the other thing Jason was working on this morning. So this cylinder is going to be powering a big 96 scale Ohio, Submarine Works Ohio kit. Those are available through my website, by the way. Or if you can't see it, let me know and I can get them for you. But the standard brushless motor that we put on there is really not nice to swing a big prop like this. And so we replaced it with this, I guess you could say somewhat beefy brushed motor. That'll swing that prop. That'll swing three of those props, really. So we're just waiting. We replaced the cylinder because we needed to extend it a little bit further to accommodate the larger motor. And we can actually probably button that up and test it and everything. But anyhow, that'll be going out here right away too.
First thing tomorrow.
So what I'm going to be using here is this battery-powered airbrush that I picked up from Micromark. Now, did I need a battery-powered airbrush? No. But I was just so enthralled by it at the show, I just had to get one. Actually, I got two. This is the broad tip, and then there's also a pencil fine tip, different airbrush. But the idea behind this, there's just a little brushless motor in there that pumps the paint and air out, and it's a top-loading dual action airbrush. So I'm going to try it out on this. You can see I haven't applied anything here yet. And let's just start at the front. And we weathered a Pisces a few minutes ago. It didn't take too long. Used the same process that we did on the Type or S-Class. Just wanted to add some interest. Got some like verdigris kind of stuff going on here. A little bit of rust. So getting closer. Man, it would be awesome if we could have this ready for Subfest. All right, Thursday morning, and I apologize kind of for the lack of updates during the course of the day. I went home yesterday sick, and usually I don't do that, but Logan got sick first, got me sick, and now it turns out he got Jason sick. So Jason took the day off because he's going to be driving tonight over to Florida to drop off that big dreadnought that we used to have sitting right there. So that's super exciting. Like I said yesterday, I did have the time to get the S-Class weathered up. Looks really cool. And Pisces, which I'm really excited about. Jason got cylinders done yesterday. This one just needs the dual shaft gearbox. That's going to be for a Gato, I believe. These are both single shaft units, and that was the big one for the 96 Gal Ohio with the oversized motor. So these just need to be certified. We put them in the water, we test them out, make sure they don't leak, and I need to build the gearbox and mount it to that one. And then Logan did get a bunch of work done on Delphin yesterday. I'm stoked at how this is turning out. All the linkages are run, but I don't know if you guys caught it yesterday. I made a boo-boo when I mounted these vertical stabilizers. The trailing edge of the rudders are supposed to line up with the trailing edge of these diplanes, and they don't. And I should have keyed into that because these holes here and here are supposed to line up with each other, but that's what happens when you're in a hurry to get things done. But this actually, I think, is going to be a blessing in disguise because now the leading edges of the stabilizers match up. We're going to notch this out and inset the rudder, and then everything will line up. Everything will look cool, and I think it'll actually be better than it was originally designed to be. So, working on that. We tested the radio, everything seems to be working, diplanes are fully functional, we just need to connect these, top and bottom, to get that working. So today's plan is to certify those cylinders, build the gearbox, and then we're going to be working on Sharky, mix shark face, to see if we can get the watertight box mounted in there and the linkages run for the pectoral fins. So if I can get that done today, I'll be a happy camper. All right, so the next challenge that we have with Delphin is putting the top on and keeping it on. So to that end, this is what we're going to do. Logan over there is cutting some internal bulkheads. We're going to put one in the lower hull and one in the upper hull. They'll mate up to each other, and we're going to put a pin coming out that will mate to a hole in the back, and that will maintain the alignment. Now on the front, we need to figure out a way to keep this thing together, and I took a cue from my Nautilus building days. So you can see I machined like a little hole in there. This goes on the front. This is a rubber, soft rubber bumper, so if you careen full force into the side of a pool or something, you don't smash your boat up. This is going to go in like this, and I'm going to put a tab in the top, a hole in the bottom, and thread it for this. So in order to secure the top to the bottom, you push this in. When it hits the threaded plate, you screw it in, and that holds the top on. Or at least, that's the theory.
Alright, so we have just finished getting all of our supports in for securing the top. We've got a bulkhead in the top and a bulkhead in the rear. Pin in one, of course. This lines up pretty well so that you can just slip this on and through. Now with the back secured, move up to the front. We have an aluminum plate here and an aluminum plate up here. This one is bolted and glued down, and this one is also nice and secured. Just drop them on. You can see we've got a nice lineup already. And then as a finale, we've got the rubber stopper you've seen earlier. Slides right in the front and just screws on.
That's it. Now we just need to finish up the tail. That darned tail. And then I think we're going to be trimming this bad boy out. We have to fill up our tote because we got rid of all our test tanks. So we managed to get this notched out. We just used the old-fashioned hacksaw. So our rudders are all drilled out. You can see we got little holes in there for the pins, but the problem is, not being foresightful, I didn't drill them in the stabilizers. So right where that is right there, we need to drill a vertical hole parallel to the line of the thing. So if we were going to use this drill, we'd only be able to get in at an angle, which is not good. So Logan had this really good idea, and this is what we built. This is an extension for a 3/32 drill bit. Put a little notch in the shaft, slid it into an 1/8" tube, and bolted it in place with a wheel collar. This is the same way we do linkages. If you loosen that off, this is all adjustable for linkages. And then we put a little piece of 3/32 rod in there so we can clamp down hard with the drill. So, haven't tried it, but in theory, this will allow a perfectly vertical hole right through the stabilizer. Alright, little update on the Delphin. Now, you'll notice we've got an interesting character behind here. Now, there's a little bit of a story behind this boat. This is being built for a young gentleman by the name of Robert. And his mom is kind of choreographing this whole thing. The traditional Delphin is like steel colors, and it had like black and yellow stripes on it and that kind of thing. This sucker, though, is going to be bright yellow with red accents, and he very much wanted to have this little dude driving the boat. So this is going to be a very, very unique submarine. Everything is tested, everything is working. I do want to point out one thing that I did, which would actually be beneficial for some of you guys if you are running into a challenge with vibrating drivetrains. So I added this cross brace in here, and because this was all in place already and undoing it was a massive undertaking, I made this so that it basically is a cradle with a bolt down top, and it locks this in. It is rock solid now. The reason I wanted to do this is just because with this spinning so exceptionally fast, I did not want any vibration whatsoever. So this eliminated the little bit of vibration that we had in there. It is smooth as silk. Logan also did a little bit of cable management inside. So we are ready for prime. We're going to pop off these linkages and get this thing painted. Friday morning, the 18th. It's 7:30 in the morning. Is it? No, wait. Yeah, it is 7:30. And we're already hard at it. Logan is certifying these cylinders. We got a little mini test tank in the back that we've been using to get those knocked out. Those will be all done, primed, and ready to ship next Monday. We've got Sharky McSharkface up. I just tested the watertight box for watertight integrity and for flotation. It is quite decidedly positively buoyant, which is great because we're going to end up putting it deep in the bowels of Sharky, and so it'll offer some flotation high up in the craft. We've got some paint on Delphin. This is almost dry already, which is pretty awesome. So like I mentioned, this is not going to be the typical Delphin paint scheme. Red and bright yellow. That's what's going to be going on with this thing. You can see we got this bright yellow, unmellow yellow spray paint. I want to get that painted today too. So we're going to let that red paint cure for a little bit and then mask it and then hit it with yellow. Might take a couple of coats. We'll see what that looks like. But if we can get Delphin done, cylinders done, Sharky box mounted, Might even install some flotation foam in Sharky. Then we're going to round out the day with working on Pisces. Really, everything's in there. We just need to make a little watertight compartment, which I mean little. Receiver, voltage regulator. Not much needs to go in there. We just need to figure it out, and we need to make it look cool. And then we need to do hull hold downs too. So that is what's on the agenda. All right, quitting time on Friday. Catch you up on where we left off with our various projects. We'll do our cool tool of the week and bid you all a happy weekend. Let's take a look where we ended up. All right, Pisces. We didn't get much of a chance to work on it, maybe like half an hour or 45 minutes or something like that. But got all the servos hooked up and tested. The rear rudder, the forward dive planes, and started working on the little self-contained ballast system. So there's our vent in the top of it, and the actuator, and the blow valve. So this is going to be a gas ballast system, and that's the gas ballast vent valve. So the way I've got that set up, we got two pressure vessels for liquid propel, and they're going to be wired in or plumbed in parallel, acting as one big tank. So they'll come together and out for the blow, and then these two intakes will get plumbed together for the fill valve. And I'm going to put a little restrictor in here so that when you blow, it just comes out in like a whisper and not a gigantic blow. Yeah, hopefully that'll work. And after that, we just need to rig up some catches for the hull, and then we got to figure out where we're going to put our receiver and how we're going to connect everything to it. Great progress on Sharky, even though it may or may not look like it. Logan rigged up all of the linkages, and we would show you, except our transmitter died. It's sitting over there getting charged up right there. So that might need to wait till next week. But these are all rigged up. They've got really nice deflection. I'd say like 30 degrees, which is probably way overkill for what we actually need. But we got big, beefy 1/8 inch control rods in there going to these big, beefy control horns. And we get really good deflection. This is all mounted in here. You can see down below there some stainless bolts that bolts this in. And you can open this up to turn it on and off, to vent it out and that kind of thing. Now, obviously, if you're going to do maintenance, you're going to need to like unbolt it and pull the whole thing out. But for just normal access, you're good. We got our little port for the LED lights and the motors. So we are coming along. I think this thing might get wet next week. And we now have a bright yellow and red Delphin. Looks shiny. But it does have a resemblance to perhaps a fictional vehicle. What now? Logan came up with a name, and I think it's going to stick despite our maybe best efforts. What is it now?
The McDelphin.
This is the McDelphin, as it shall be affectionately referred to in the shop. Obviously just rough right now. I'm going to touch things up, make it look a little better, hit it with some clear, gloss clear, make it look really cool, paint the props, hook up all the linkages. But that will not get lost in the water. So that's it. This week is our wrap. Again, Jason's not here, the slacker. He's in Florida, dropping off that big dreadnought. Should be dropping it off about 5 o'clock, maybe a couple hours from now. Well, maybe an hour from now, because they're an hour ahead. To our good customer, Stan, down there. Hopefully he'll be happy with it. Then he'll be back, and I'm sure he'll be featured in our videos next week. So fear not. Hopefully he's feeling better, a little under the weather. Good project progress this week. I think by middle of next week we'll have this done, Delphin done, and Sharky might be ready for paint. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Still lots of cylinders going out, so that's good too. A note for everybody, 2 notes actually. First and foremost, Subfest is coming up. If you are thinking about attending, you need to register now because time is running out. Next Friday is the deadline for ordering your custom Subfest 2023 t-shirts. You don't order them, you don't get them. That's how it works. If you don't have a boat, that is not a problem. If you're a fan of RC Subs, you want to learn more about the hobby, come on out. I guarantee you'll have some stick time. I'll be there.
I'll be here.
We'll probably have Gracie. Jason's going to be there with his wife, Carolyn. So the whole crew is going to be there. Shaping up to be really good. I know we have at least 22 or 23 skippers registered so far. That means there's going to be over 100 RC submarines, I'd be willing to bet. Because we're going to be bringing a whole fleet by ourselves.
Yeah.
That leads us to cool tool of the week, and Logan is going to talk about that. All right, take it away.
Alright, so this isn't exactly a cool or unique tool you will find just on the market, but this is more of what you can do with some of your tools sitting around. So I'm sure everyone has had some tool or another that's only about this long, but what you need to do is you need to, say, wedge it all the way to the back of your boat. This is probably a bit more of the complicated one considering it's got a couple crossbars in there, but you can just take anything such as a simple bit of brass tube. You solder something like an Allen wrench to the end of it. Creates a really nice artificial extension.
Yeah, I got lots of different sizes. Like this one here, I made with like a small wrench on one side and a big wrench on the other side. But this is probably like 10 or 12 inches long. But yeah, like Logan said, like a lot of boats, you'll have a Z-cut back here, and you got to get to the set screw and the rudder way back here. So these are invaluable. It just takes a little bit of time and saves you a lot of headaches. All right, everyone, with that, on behalf of myself, Bob Martin, the RC Sub Guy, and
Logan, the RC Sub Kid.
This week is done. You have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time.